Hey everybody, I haven't done one of these in a while, but Cave Squeaker sent me something. He's like, hey, you should check this out. Whatever, I'll do it. I don't know. I just don't look for stuff anymore. So if people send me stuff, I'll check it out, but I can't look for it anymore. I'll look for hours and not find jack shit. But Cave Squeaker sent us this, guys. I'm gonna see if it's any good. Father Nathan Monk is asking for donations. This Mother's Day, I want to highlight the love of my life, the mother of our children, the strongest and softest person I know. I think the guy who wrote this is the softest person he knows. This post talks about pregnancy loss, divorce, and abortion. Tashina. Never trust a bitch called Tashina. Tashina and I met when she was 19 and I was 20. I grew up in a conservative Christian home, and she was a pagan bisexual single mom. You think these guys all have problems? We were from two very different worlds. From the very beginning, she began to stretch my limited worldview, and probably his asshole. I bet there was some asshole stretching going on. I got asked a lot, a fish and a bird can fall in love, but where will they build their nest? Do you think he got asked that a lot? Do you think he got asked, a fish and a bird can fall in love, but where will they build their nails? I don't think anyone's ever said that to anybody ever. In the bayous and marshes. When we got married, we were an instant family. It was someone else's kid. Our honeymoon was short but beautiful. Eventually, I ended up adopting our daughter, and we started to discuss expanding our family. After years of trying, we experienced several pregnancy losses. Then we welcomed our second daughter in the world. I just hate the way this guy writes. We had hoped for a big family, but our hopes kept resulting in multiple miscarriages. The mom was probably drinking and taking pills. I'm still laughing about, but where will they build their nails? Who the fuck says shit like that? After a very traumatic loss, we decided that it was time to accept that we were blessed with two amazing daughters. Then we found out we were expecting again. Is this one yours too? For months we were on AWH, but we eventually arrived at the hospital to deliver our third child. When the midwife arrived, she was concerned. The baby seemed to be in severe distress. He was born with an umbilical cord wrapped around his neck twice and tied in a tight knot. The kid was hanging itself. The kid heard the dad talk and said, no thank you, I'm out of here. Then Tashina started to hemorrhage. I always promised her no matter what happened, I would stay with the baby. But now I was standing in this room with them applying breathing machines to our blue child and the nurses and doctors surrounding my fading wife. I was in a panic. Then I heard him cry. I ran over to him and felt his little fingers wrap around mine. I could only be in one place at a time, and they were taking him away. So I kept my promise and left him. He and I sat in a room getting to know each other while I was panicked. I bet a lot of hand flapping. There was definitely flapping of the hands and wrists. Not knowing if I was now a single father or not, the thought kept running through my head. Am I a widower? After what felt like decades, the doctor arrived to tell me she had made it and wanted to see the baby. I promised myself that I would never let her be in this kind of danger again. After a long series of conversations, we made the decision together that I would get a vasectomy. Yes, I will have my scrotum sac poked and prodded so this never happens again. Poked and prodded, whatever. After 8 miscarriages and almost losing her and the baby, this was the only way I knew to keep her safe. There's other ways than getting your ball bag chopped up. It's early, guys. I'm tired. I can't drink coffee anymore, so I'm dying. No one cares. No one cares about me. Life doesn't always go as we planned, and eventually we both lost ourselves. I lost myself in the in the narcotic euphoria of Lego collecting, and she lost herself in a sea of black penises. Over the years, I had become increasingly hardened. I used to laugh and sing Broadway songs in the streets. Yes, as your normal, average married man seems to do. Singing Broadway songs. I was now angry, bitter, and unwilling to face traumas in my own life. For Tashina, years of living under a misogynistic religious institution. Alright, so this guy's a father, so he's some kind of religious dude. Is that the way to talk about your religion? Is that how you do it? What a wiener. I hope this guy doesn't work in a church. This guy seems creepy. And my own resolved internal misogyny had been suppressing her true self. Neither of us looked like the people we fell in love with anymore. Man, she did a number on this dude. When you start saying fucking misogyny and shit, you know she dragged this guy over the fucking coals. After 9 years of marriage, we decided to separate. We worked well together as co-parents and learned to navigate this new normal. New normal, I said it. I said the new buzzword. I would take the kids on the weekends, and this is what life was like now. We both met other people. Well, I met people at comic book conventions, and she got fucked a lot behind various dumpsters. I adapted to life as best as I could and built a good relationship with her boyfriend. Sometimes I would gingerly hold his sack as he thrusted his penis into my ex-wife. But there were troubles behind the scenes that I couldn't see. Tashina found her independence again. What is this guy a father of? I wish I knew. She was no longer trapped by my lingering religious ideologies. Lingering? This doesn't make any sense. Watching from afar as she blossomed and found freedom forced me to reckon with myself. What guy writes that? I bet you the wife wrote this for him. This doesn't sound like a dude, or not a dude who would like girls. I was both a prisoner and a prison guard of these ideologies I had been forced by my own trauma and hurts. I needed to be free again. Or I needed to be free too. Sorry guys, I'm getting ahead of myself. I began going to therapy and had to look deep inside to the muck and hurt that existed inside me. It took years, but I started to laugh and sing again as well. More Broadway songs, dude. Running around singing Broadway songs, fruiting it up wherever he goes. Little did I know that this same system of misogyny was about to try and trap her again in a wholly different way. One day I had a call from Tashina. My boyfriend and I just broke up this afternoon. This evening I found out I'm pregnant. It's yours, idiot. Yeah, I fucked that guy, but it's your kid now, stupid. I want more child support. My line of vision began to sink in and go black. Did it really go black? Whatever that means. I felt sick. We talked for hours over those next couple of days. Yeah, she needs you now. She's knocked up. She shared with me how unsupportive he had been and that she had attempted to repeatedly get out of the relationship. She was afraid of what he might do. Yeah, well, you're there to pick up the pieces, right, stupid? He's there to pick up the pieces. When she expressed to him that she wasn't sure if she wanted to go forward with the pregnancy, he made a social post stating, "I'm gonna be a dad," in some attempt to entrap her, and and publicly shame her. I will not go into detail about all that she had endured, because it is not my place. What I will say is that what she experienced forced a loving and kind mother to make the most difficult choice of her life. I told her I was there for her no matter what she wanted to do. Of course you were. This doormat is going to be there for her no matter what. After all the torment she was put through. What about the torment she put you through? Doesn't that mean anything? No. Okay. She told me that she had decided that she wanted to terminate the pregnancy. You agree with that, Father? Quote unquote. Oh, what is this? What is this? This has got to be fake, right? So many nights before, I had held her as she cried from the losses we had experienced. I had wiped away her tears as she as she mourned the large family she had hoped to have. Now she felt that this was the best choice for her to survive. So she's crying about it, so why is she doing it? She knows you'll pay for it, so why go through it? She's got this dummy to take care of her. Tashina made plans for a friend to take her a couple of hours away to the closest clinic. She asked if I would watch the kids last minute. The ex-boyfriend asked if he could take her instead as a way to make amends, and I said no! And then he threatened me, and then I hid behind the couch. It was a lie, and he never showed up, presumably an attempt to take her choice away from her. I received a panic call from Tashina saying she needed someone to drive her and asked if I would do it, and I said, gosh darn it, yes I will! Insert Fred Flintstone running noises. This is embarrassing. I had evolved extensively on the issue of choice, but somewhere deep inside my head still lived the version of me that served as a priest. Why are you still calling yourself a father then, if you're not a priest? This was antithetical to everything I had been taught. Could I do this? And then I remembered my promise that I was gay anyway, and nothing mattered. To always keep her safe. Did that expire now, just because we were no longer together? I picked her up that morning before sunrise, wearing my best Rick and Morty t-shirt. We drove miles away, and I drove past the picket line of protesters with their rosaries. This never happened, by the way. Who does that? No one does that anymore. Say 1996. This guy's full of shit. What would they think knowing that a fallen and now divorced ex-priest? So why are you still calling yourself this is driving me crazy for some reason. He's still calling himself a priest, but he's supposedly an ex-priest. Was driving his former wife to get an abortion. I didn't have to really wonder. I knew what they would say. We sat together in the waiting room with other scared people making difficult choices for all their individual reasons. You think they were scared? I bet just some woman just went in, hey doc, I got this, and just put the fucking baby grinder up her snatch. Hey, I'll see you next week. I put a TV show on my phone, and we sat there with earbuds in one ear each and watched, waiting for her turn. Eventually we were called back. This felt so familiar, and yet so different. When we arrived back at her house, she waited to miscarry again, this time by choice. How different our lives had turned out from what we promised on our wedding day. But maybe this is precisely what it meant when I promised for better or for worse, for rich or for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and cherish until we are parted by death. Except that whole part where she ran around and fucked some other dude. Except for that part. We don't talk about that part anymore. And got knocked up, by the way. And now you're cleaning up the mess like the fucking stupid douche you are. After this experience together, we were both forever changed. Slowly, over time, we began to see each other again. I was falling in love with her, but afraid to fall back into old familiar patterns. Had I healed enough to be worthy of her love again? Yeah, it's all your fault and none of hers. Little did I know, she was also falling in love with this reborn version of myself. Mostly because I sat on the couch and played Fortnite while she got railed in the garage by various means. Over time, we saw why we trusted one another so deeply to begin with. We realized what it truly means to be someone's person and what it means to truly be family. This is what it means when you say you would do anything to keep someone safe. She's gonna leave this guy again. You know what's happening. 2 years ago, blissfully unaware that social isolation was just on the horizon, we surrounded ourselves with our close family and friends and recommitted ourselves to one another. We had realized in our time apart that when life got scary, when things didn't make sense, when the storms rolled in, who we wanted to reach out to was each other. You mean she reached out to you to clean up her mess? Hey, can you take me to that abortion place? I don't know, this is just embarrassing. It seems embarrassing to me for a guy to be writing this shit. This is like shit that maybe happens to normal people, but you shut up about it. Life and love doesn't fit into a perfect little heart-shaped chocolate box. I don't believe a guy wrote this. Flowers can't cover the stench of disappointment. Love can be raw and visceral, but love never fails. It fails all the time when she was getting railed by somebody else. Yeah, that doesn't count. Yeah, but that time I want a do-over on that. The other day, my wife looked at me and said, "I'm enjoying being married to you the second time around, much more than the first try, and the third and fourth might be pretty good too." I am too, mostly because I think our time apart gave us the ability to learn who we really are. The events that led us to coming back together gave me the ability to learn what it truly means to love someone completely. I'm not sure what the future holds, but I'm so glad to be given the chance to no longer worry about all that anymore. I am content instead to know that I am fully loved by her and that I fully loved her too. I bet she didn't even read this. I bet he was like, "You should read my Facebook post." And she's like, "Yeah, okay." I just never thought about it again. Because love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Motherhood is not linear. It is not perfectly defined. There are mothers who've never had children of their own. Wait, what? Oh, wait, I get it. Because I took someone else's shitty kids. There are mothers who started out as fathers, and fathers who have now realized they are mothers. There are people who said, "I can't be a mother right now," but decided to later in life. There are those who are now mothers who said, "I can't be the right mom to these ones. I've got if I have any more." There are moms with 20 kids, and moms who've lost their children. There are moms who aren't here with us anymore. There are moms who are clingy and moms who are distant. But everyone should get to choose when and if they become a mom. Happy Mother's Day. And there's the douchebags right there. Of course, a Star Wars shirt. And the stupid looking pillhead mumsy. And the 3 unfortunate kids. And the douchebag husband with the Harry Potter glasses. And the scrotum beard. What's with the scrotum beard? I say scrotum beard because it just looks like scrotum hair on their face. It doesn't look like a good beard. Guys, what a mess. And of course, he's asking for charity for a father asking for charity for a national network of abortion funds. And I would look into that charity. Somehow I think these dipshits are pocketing the money. It doesn't even make sense. National network of abortion funds? Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. I would check into that. But what a mess. Thank Cave Squeaker. Hey, if you didn't like this video, I want you to write Cave Squeaker an angry letter, okay? Because it wasn't my fault. I thought it was pretty funny. Thanks for watching, guys. That was a lot of reading. That was 20 fucking minutes. But I gotta get going.